Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to jump right into what we read today because there's a lot to talk about and I have a cookie that I want to start eating. Okay? So, Ezra. All of the people are currently in Jerusalem and they are excited to start building the temple. They even started building the temple before they started building the city walls because they were like, without God's protection, the city walls are going to protect us for about this long. But with God's protection, we don't even need city walls because nobody can touch us if God's got our backs. Boom. And so they were super duper excited to start building the temple. However, in the process of building this temple, it took a very long time to prepare. They didn't have David setting everything up for them, and they didn't have Solomon's wealth to get everything rolling, right? And so it took a long time to even prepare to start building the temple. And then while the temple was being built, there were a lot of people that tried to sabotage and halt the building of the temple. Some people were coming in claiming to be Christians, claiming to be aligned with God, and then acting in the opposite way. And then there were other people that kind of just went around everybody in Jerusalem straight to the Persian king. And so basically they were like, hey, so all the Jews are kind of known for being rebellious and causing revolts and really just not being a great nation, so you should probably hold the building of the temple because it's really just not a good use of your time, Mr. King. I forgot who the name was. He was eventually convinced after looking back into the archives of all of the mistakes that the Israelites had made, and he was like, you're right, these people kind of trouble, we're just gonna halt everything. And so the building of the temple was placed on a legal hold, and then everybody in Jerusalem just kind of lost their motivation and they started building their own houses and doing everything like that. However, when the temple is officially built, there are two kinds of reactions to the temple. There are people who are just hooting and hollering with joy, and they're just so happy that the temple is done, that they have a place where they can go in and worship the Lord. And then there are other people who are weeping and grieving. One, because the temple is nowhere near as beautiful as Solomon's, and it's just kind of like a physical reminder of it's their fault the temple came down in the first place because of all their sin. And their sin is the reason they were exiled. Their sin is the reason that Jerusalem was trashed and in ruins. And so the building of the temple and the finishing of the temple was just kind of like moments of grief and remembrance of what circumstances brought them to that point in time in the first place. So yes, that is all I've got for you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm going to go enjoy my cookie. Bye-bye.